Hey, welcome back to Motormouth Garage. Today our video is just going to be showing you some of the projects that we've got coming up. Obviously, it's been pretty cold. I'm so ready for spring, and last 2 to 3 weeks my household's been sick, so I've just been editing some videos that we've shot prior, but we really haven't done a whole lot of work because it's been pretty nasty. Snowstorms, ice storms, cold weather, sickness and everything. So I just figured I'd shoot you a video, let you know some of the projects that we got coming up, and then I'm going to show you a special project that's pretty close to my heart, and I'll tell you why. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the first one. Here we go. All right, here we got a 99 Pontiac Montana. Now, the thing about this car, or this van, I guess, is no title at the moment. We're still working on that, but I got her running. It had some issues staying running, and it turned out it was a plugged fuel filter. So I'm gonna still have to drop that tank and go from there. But it was running pretty good after I replaced that fuel filter, and I did an entire cleanup of this, which I didn't shoot, and I should have. But anyway, she got a lot of miles on her, but she's still running pretty good, and we figured we could probably get her back on the road. Worst comes to worst, no title, demolition derby. I don't know, tell me what you guys think. So we got the Montana, that's one. Next to the Montana is the 04 Sport Track. It doesn't have any rust. I mean, it's got some peeling paint. The interior was immaculate, is immaculate. It needs new tires, of course. But this motor is junk. I was told that it was, gosh, now I'm drawing a blank. It's junk. These are those motors with the time and chain guides, and they're plastic, so they break. But I don't think that was the issue. I believe this one, either a bent rod or something valve train related, and that was all I was told, and I could not get it started. I guess I did once, and the one time I did get it started, she sounded rough. So we're gonna hopefully sometime this summer and or spring, we're gonna do a motor swap, because I have a 02 Explorer, little bitty bed. The whole back glass rolls down. I mean, it's a pretty nice looking truck. Anyway, we got an 04 Explorer with the same motor, so we're just going to do a motor swap on this bad boy, and then see about selling it. It's 4-wheel drive. It's not a bad looking rig. It just needs a new home, needs a new motor, and some TLC. So we'll see about getting her back on the road and shipping it down the road. All right, we got the old brick nose. I picked this thing up 2 summers ago, I believe. Got a straight 6 with a 4-speed manual in it. Pretty cool looking old truck. It's 87 F-150 4-wheel drive. So this one had some valve train chatter, and I believe it also needed a new clutch. But all in all, it's not a bad looking truck either. It definitely needs to be cleaned out. I've had this one on the back burner for a little while. Pretty cool truck, but I've had so many other projects come up that she's definitely taking the back burner. Gotta get a tailgate, probably a new bumper, or some extensive body work or bumper work. So got parts for this. Had parts for this for a minute. We got some weed growth here. Massive. So definitely look forward to that one coming up. And if we go inside the shop here, we've got the Black Widow, the boys Mazda, which we've still got, yeah, parts in the back. Still got to get that rear glass. I've got the window here to put in. Got to do a little bit of body work to it. She's gonna need some work, but not a bad little rig. Once we get it squared away, once we get the parts put into it, and yeah, this shouldn't take too long. Obviously I won't be doing the back glass, but I know a place. It's probably so dark in here you can't really see it, but yeah, we showed a video of this not too long ago. So we're gonna get back on that too. The boy's been asking me to shoot some video with him, but I've been sick for the last 2 weeks and it's just been nasty weather out, so we'll get back on that one as well, hopefully. So all right, I'll take you back in here into the shop. And everybody knows Destiny. I mean, look at her. She got a bum leg here. There we go. Just kind of, poor gal. Had some tires sitting over here, which I was going to swap out, but again, just haven't had the time. So Destiny still needs power steering pump, U-joints, heater core, and then reroute those lines. So Destiny's definitely going to be, we'll probably put her in the shop for too long. We're going to do a shop clean video as well. And once we get the shop cleaned out and it starts looking good, we'll put her in the shop and start working on her again. All right, moving on over, we've got the O2 Explorer. Literally just a parts rig. Taking the motor out, gonna put the motor over into that Sport Track and see if she runs. And the rest of it will just part out, or I don't even know. Later video. And we got the tractor. Was running decent enough to blade the driveway before that snow showed up, and now she's having some issues. So I'm gonna go back through it again and see if maybe new spark plugs, check the old cap and rotor, see if she's a little dirty. I don't know if she's getting very good spark, but another project as well. And then we got the 96 Mercury Grand Marquis. It's actually been a pretty good car. Picked it up for 500 bucks for my pops, and heck, we've been driving this thing for the last 6 years. And she needs some front end work, but I already got all the parts for that. It's got a 302 in it, and that thing runs strong. Very good car. At this point, we're kind of using it as a backup car, but it just ran really well and never left us stranded, and has always been that good backup car. So we're gonna get it fixed, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Should probably still just be a backup rig, but the wife's told me that we're not selling her, so it'll be here forever, or until I talk her into let me pull the motor out and putting in something else. Anyway, let's go inside the shop. This is the one project that well, it's been a project for many years, but let me take you in the shop and show you. This is the one that's pretty close to my heart, because it's well, I'll just explain it when I get inside. All right, give me just a second. All right, guys, this next project I'm going to show you, let me give you a little backstory. It was my first car when I was 16. I sold it, bought it back, then I hawked it, got it out, and it's been with me ever since. I think there was only maybe a year, maybe, that I didn't own the car since I was 16 and I'm 38 now. So I've had this car for quite some time. Love this car. Just definitely needs some work. I was driving it when I was 16, 17, 18. I think when I was 19, I sold it. And then from there, she's just sat. So she hasn't ran for, well, quite some time. I'd say close to 17, 18 years. I think I was driving it maybe when I was 19, 20. But anyway, I think it's not been running for about 17, 18 years and way too long. So without further ado, let me show you what she looks like. Let me show you what it is. Let me take you around and check out the body styling. Back in 1968, these cars were something else. You just don't see styling like this anymore. You also don't see metal like this anymore either. This car, she's big girl. I know the camera's not doing her justice. She's 17.5 foot long. And here's what that hardtop, that 4-door hardtop, no post. You roll them windows down, it looks like one giant window. And it is a blast to drive, guys. I'm telling you. I got so many fond memories of this car. And now that I've got it back, I have no plans of ever getting rid of it again. It's just been such a fun drive, but it's been so long since I've got to. So obviously we got some upholstery work that we need to get done. Seats are in bad shape. The dash is, well, rough to say the least. But surprisingly enough, for being a 1968, she's not in that bad of shape. And thank God I've had it undercover now for like the last, 4 years. So it's just a, man, beautiful car. Guys, you don't see them like this anymore. And if you do, they want an arm and a leg and your first child. And I only got one kid and I'm kind of fond of him, so I'll probably just keep him. Anyway, look at the front end. They're just, you don't have styling like this anymore, guys. My gosh. All right, let's check under the hood. Right now it's just got a 305 in it. I ran this 305 for several years before I sold it and then parked it. Since then, mice have come through and eaten a bunch of the wiring and just a lot of things. I think the ignition switch went out, so I gotta source another ignition switch. The carb, last I remember, the carb filter was plugged because that gas tank was completely rusted out. And I dropped that tank years ago and it was completely full, about to rust out. So gotta buy a new one eventually. Probably go through the fuel lines, replace all them. This radiator came out of a 65 or 66, I do believe, so it wasn't the right size. But I did that when I was 16, and it's got a pinhole in it, so now it leaks. That's some sweet bracketry right there. But anyway, the plan for this one is, I want to hear it run again, and I'd like to just drive it before I put it back in the shop and pull the motor. But the plan for this one is to put a rebuilt 350 Chevy in it, and I sourced the original air conditioning components because I'd like to put this car back to as original as possible, minus the engine because it was a 307, but I'd like to put a 350 in there, just a well-built, well-rounded 350 Chevy. Can't go wrong. And then it does have, my father and I rebuilt a 2-speed Power Glide, so it has the original 2-speed Power Glide in it. We never had the original 307. In fact, I believe when my father got this car, it had a straight 6 in it, and I wanted an upgrade. So we ended up putting we put a 350 in there, then had some issues with it, and instead of rebuilding it, he just gave me a 305, and I ran that 305 for quite some time. It is a fun car to drive, but yeah, that's our projects list for the time being. We've also kind of looked into a couple of trucks, and then a really neat car, which if I end up getting it, I'm not gonna spoil the surprise, so I'm not even gonna tell you what it is. But one that would definitely be a pretty neat rig to have. So you don't see them every day, and hopefully we can source that thing, and or actually we already sourced it, so I guess hopefully we can get that, and if we do, I'll let you guys know. But all right, stay tuned. We got several projects coming up, not to mention the stuff that we're going to do with our everyday rigs. I believe Kenny's got some well, we're going to try to fix that oil leak on the Voyager and on Victoria, and I think he's got some AC components that we're going to work on. Wilford's still working on Abigail. We haven't touched that carb for a little while. Just haven't had time, and everybody's been kind of busy and obviously sick and the weather and stuff. So we haven't been back on the carb yet, but we are planning on it. So stay tuned for more videos on Abigail. And then obviously I picked up Caroline. I got to do a few things Caroline. We're just going to get her, slap some tags and some insurance on her, and she'll be an everyday driver. Parts getter, push all them seats out and you put some massive parts in there. I'm just saying. Anyway, so stay tuned. We got all kinds of stuff coming up. All right, guys, we appreciate your guys' time and effort, and we appreciate your likes and your subscribes, and we just ask that you keep on doing it. So thanks a lot, guys. Until next time.